Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy hump day, everybody. We are halfway here, halfway through the week. Thank God. So anyway, I hope some of you got to tune in yesterday to Tuesday's show. I just want to give a shout out to Juice the Poet for being here. I think we had a great topic, well, different topics, great topics. And his vibe was amazing. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that show, please go back on Focus Radio and watch it. Also, I want to give some birthday shout outs today. I'm looking at my phone, and of course I see the fabulous makeup artist, Seth MUA. A very special happy birthday to Seth. Also, our favorite Roanoke Times reporter, Matt Chittum. Happy birthday to you. Danielle Rhodes, happy birthday to you as well. Those are our local birthdays. Now, as for the celebrity birthdays, happy birthday to Mariah Carey. Happy birthday, Mariah. I don't know if she's still in Vegas. I don't know what Mariah is doing right now, but we want to wish her a very happy birthday. And also Quentin Tarantino from Desperado. He did Desperado. Also, Pulp Fiction, if you're familiar with those movies, that's who Quentin Tarantino is. And also the famous singer Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas. Happy birthday to Fergie as well. And we will be right back with our very special guest, Scott Terry-Cabbler. So stay tuned and stay focused for Scott.
This is us. This is them. Choose a bank that knows what it means to be local. Bank of Bogota, taking care of you.
Apple Ridge Farm offers wonderful facilities ideal for weddings, corporate retreats, church retreats, family reunions, and even birthday parties. For a unique and unforgettable lodging experience, call or visit appleridge.org to schedule your next event at Apple Ridge today.
My revenge may be bold and outspoken. My passion, bare and understated. Evidence of confusion on my lips. Regardless, it's me.
Go anywhere you want to go. Leave your transportation needs to J&K Tours of Roanoke, Virginia, and expect a hassle-free travel experience. Go anywhere you want to go. Travel without worries. Leave your transportation needs to J&K Tours of Roanoke, Virginia, and expect a hassle-free travel experience. Travels without worries. Visit us at jnktours.com or reach us by phone at 540-795-0381. J&K Tours.
Healthy food for healthier communities. In partnership with Focus Radio and Apple Ridge Farm, the Well Market is a youth-run farm stand providing healthy, local, organic produce to people living in the Northwest Gainesboro neighborhood. Fruits and vegetables such as greens, potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and squash are harvested from the George Washington Carver Community Garden in Northwest Roanoke and local farms in Floyd County including Patchwork, Green Island, and Apple Ridge Farm. Money raised from produce sales goes directly back into the program and continues to fund youth involvement and entrepreneurial skill development. Please visit the Well Market every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. and help support healthy food for healthier communities. The Well, working, eating, living, and learning together.
We're back. And we have Scott with us today. Hey,
right.
Scott.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good, I'm blessed.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
had
thanks
to-
for having me.
Of course. We had to go part 2 with this.
So nice we had to do it twice.
So, anyway, you came back from Roanoke. I mean, you came back to Roanoke when? 2000?
03, I came back.
Now, from when you left to when you came back, did you see a lot of changes?
I saw change, but maybe not progress. All right. When I left in 1988,
Okay.
you know, I wasn't paying attention. You know, I was like 18, 19 years old. Nothing mattered. You know, my biggest problem was they had closed down the A&P.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So, but I wasn't paying attention to what was going on.
Right.
And
I don't think a lot of us were at that point. You know, we really weren't.
And I, you know, growing up in the 70s and 80s was a great era because we were on the back end of the civil rights movement, and we didn't have any problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we you know, our elders, our parents, our grandparents had just literally overcome, you know, segregation and massive discrimination and all these different things. But it was sort of a celebratory time, you know, where we as people were so happy to have these rights.
Right.
We were living.
Right.
We had a ball. I had a ball as a child. You know. And then when I went to college and started meeting some diverse people, I had an awakening. You know, I became woke. You know what I mean? And I started
So
paying
what was it
attention.
about that diversity that woke you up? What did you feel? What was it you didn't know?
Well, if you can remember back to the late 80s, early 90s, when hip hop was very influential.
Right.
Public
Definitely.
Enemy.
Public Enemy, for sure.
Public Enemy
Check B.
was they were saying things. NWA, they were saying things
Oh, yeah.
that my generation had never heard. Right? And then you had, you know, social situations like the Rodney King situation. And then, you know, later on, you know, you had occurrences like O.J. Simpson's acquittal.
Right.
You know, these things kind of.
But I'm sorry, Rodney King, you know, that was devastating what happened to him. And
Oh, yeah.
after what happened to him, all he's saying is, can we all just get along? And it's like,
Right.
how do you do that?
Right. Yeah. So,
How do you get along with somebody that just literally beat your ass like that?
right.
You know?
Beat the brakes off of them. Yeah. And
So-
and these are the people who my generation looked to for protection.
Right.
You see, my mama's generation, they didn't see the police as protectors, but more perpetrators. You know, when you let your dog loose on me and this crowd of people, because you don't like what we're saying, we're not doing anything. We're saying stuff.
Right.
But then you turn water hoses on us and let your dogs loose on us. How am I supposed to call you?
A protector.
Right. You know.
Because
so-
you're not serving this side.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
And it's sad because it kind of feels like that's what's happening this day and time too, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, Will Smith basically said it's not that it's just now happening.
We're just seeing it.
We're just seeing it, you know.
Because of social media,
Yeah,
everything.
we got cell phone cameras and all these different things, so we're being able to document it. But it's been going on, you know. There's been a suppressed sense of racism, even within the white community. I mean,
yeah.
you know, a lot of folks are good people, well-intended people. Let me say that.
But there's still racism there.
Yeah, they're not malicious in a sense, but underneath the surface, I mean, we all possess it. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, we as black folks, we have a right to it.
Right.
All right, you know, if I don't trust you, it's not necessarily because I've got a flaw. You see what I'm saying? I'm just dealing with the society that I'm given. You know, but we can go on forever about that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, that brings me to community. Do you feel like if we had more community support, we would be able to get through situations like this?
You mean within the black community?
Within the black community, exactly. Because we don't support each other the way we should. The community doesn't come together the way it should.
Right. Oh, yeah, without question.
And I don't know why. Like,
well, you know, I went to the bank the other day.
okay.
And I went to the bank to make a deposit. And I was kind of made to feel as if that my deposit had to be scrutinized a lot more, as if I was trying to make a withdrawal. You understand what I'm saying? And I had to remind myself that the reason why my transaction was being scrutinized is because a lot of someones, before I walked in the bank, have committed or attempted to commit fraud.
Right.
All
But
right.
that wasn't you.
It wasn't me, but I was suffering the consequence of those who have come before me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I don't know about anybody else, but personally, I get offended when you take my $100 bill or my $20 bill and you take your little pen and you wipe it across.
Right.
Because in my heart, you shouldn't be doing this, because you should see me as someone who wouldn't try to give you a counterfeit bill.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But I realize it's not your job to see me. You're generalizing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But somebody, before that point in time, gave somebody a counterfeit bill. And because of that,
Everybody has to go through that.
yeah, you see what I'm saying? So one of the disconnects with us as a community is there are a lot of people who have come before this time who had their own personal agendas, and they, somewhere along the line, they took advantage of the process. They took advantage of other individuals. Okay, so you become jaded.
Right.
All right. It's somewhat unspoken, because if you're not of the black race, you probably don't know. But a lot of black people don't trust black professionals. All right?
Now, why is that?
That's simply because there's I'm not going to say it's a misconception. There is a sort of, there's a perspective that there may be some incompetence. You know, maybe the medical school that you went to didn't teach you what that medical school taught him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm gonna go over here with him because just because he's white or Indian or whatever the case might be, he probably knows more than you do. Okay, and we do that to each other.
We do. We
All
do.
right? And this is now probably the 4th or 5th generation where this is just resonating throughout the generations, where we don't want to deal with one another. You know. So you know, when people say support black business and things like that, we're fighting against these sort of generational misconceived notions that black people aren't competent to do the things, they aren't trustworthy. You know, I'm not gonna give you my money. I don't want you to know my business. You know.
Well, how do we expect to build if we can't support each other? How do we expect to grow if we can't support each other?
Well, I think what you're saying is the key.
Right.
Expectation. Right? We have to stop expecting
Right.
support.
Right.
We have to do.
We have to just do
We
it.
got to start just doing it. You know, as they say, build it and they will come.
Exactly.
We just got to get out here and
Like
just
we do at New
stuff.
Focus.
Right.
We build,
You
and
know.
if they want to come, they come.
Yeah. Like they say, you know, people won't believe in your dream until you make it come true.
That's true.
everybody loves you. Everybody, oh yeah, you know, but on the way up,
Oh yeah.
it's hard to, you know, really get that support. And I get that.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just, I compare it to back when my mom and your dad were growing up, right? So then it seemed like they had more support. I'm using Gainesboro as an example. They had more support.
Right. Oh yeah, without question.
What happened along the way? I guess that's where I'm lost.
We didn't have any options. I mean, I remember right over here. It was a shop called Joe Mansour's.
Okay.
All right. And Mr. Mansour, I think he was Greek. He had the meat.
Okay.
You went there and you got your ham and your steaks and your fish and all these different things. He would wrap it up and whatever. So he had that on lock pretty much.
Okay.
You know, we had some black store owners and whatever in my era, you know, in the 70s or whatever. But before then, we had black people who owned pretty much everything. Business.
Yeah. Right in this area.
Right here. Right here. So once desegregation hit, and I say hit because it was a blow in a sense. We were looking for acceptance when in reality we needed to create our own existence.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And don't get it twisted. We didn't have a lot of abilities to move forward because the laws of the land were strategically made to stranglehold the black community. You see?
Wait a second, hold that thought. We'll be right back, everybody.
How do I get to the hospital now?
Ever had to ask that question?
Black New York Cab, may I help you?
Central Virginia Yellow Cab is here to get you where you need to go. With professional and polite staff,
Where to, Miss Brown?
211 North Street.
you feel like you're with family. Call Central Virginia Yellow Cab at 434-846-8888. Central Virginia Yellow Cab, we get you there.
Hey, we are Pretty Please on Broad, a classy and sassy ladies' boutique located in the heart of downtown Alta Vista, Virginia, and the worldwide interwebs. We focus on limited runs, unique fashion at affordable prices. Because as I like to say, no woman wants to show up to her event and do the who wore it better. We have recently added monogramming and embroidery services, and we can rock your fashion and help you personalize that either for your own personal items or for your small business. We focus on big city fashions, so we look at fashion from LA, from New Orleans, as we are a New Orleans inspired boutique, and we really try to focus on bringing in big city fashion without the big city price tag. So give us a call or shop us online at prettypleaseonbroad.com. Our number is 704-281-8748, and make sure to like us on Facebook and Instagram. See you at Pretty Please on Broad, located at 615 Broad Street, downtown Alta Vista, Virginia.
The Bradley Free Clinic provides free, compassionate, and high-quality medical, dental, pharmaceutical, and preventative health care services for Roanoke Valley residents who lack the resources necessary to maintain their health and productivity using volunteer healthcare professionals. Check them out on their website at bradleyfreeclinic.com. All
right, we're back. Well, all right, Scott. So I don't want to forget anything. I made some notes. But it looks like you and I have to keep doing this because we get into these topics, we don't finish, and then it goes to another show. So
it just keeps going on.
It just keeps going.
Hey, if you don't mind, before we go any further, you had mentioned your mother and my father earlier. I want to give a special memorial shout out to my daddy.
Absolutely.
Herbert Cabbler, who a lot of people of my generation and younger, they don't have no clue about the contribution that a lot of these families made to the fabric of Roanoke, you know, back in the 60s, 70s, when we did have budding black businesses, you know, and not only did you, in order to be successful for the most part back then, you also had to be an activist.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You couldn't just go to your shop or go to your business and expect for people to come in there. You had to be out here in these streets. I mean, people got locked up every day. People got beat over the head every day. A lot of people died, you know, out here fighting for what we considered to be equality.
Right.
All right. But yeah, you know, I have a lot of people that
and your father was right out there in it.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
He was.
And it was a situation where you compromised your business because, you know, if you hands on and the people decide that you're doing too much and they trump up some charges against you or lock you up for an extended period of time because of something that you didn't really do or whatever, your business is going to suffer if you don't have the right partnerships. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, my father was the first black person to take the police department to the state Supreme Court.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know, and he won. My uncles, you know, everybody knows Champ and my uncle Norris.
All you have to say is Cabblers.
Yeah,
people
who was
know
Toad,
that.
you know,
Yeah.
but they owned some flourishing businesses here during the era which was considered the Yard.
Yes.
Okay, which so many black Roanokers have. Some have some disparaging memories about, but more people than not have a sense of pride. You see, Henry Street, you know, back, you know, Dumas Theater, different things, was great, but the Yard.
So tell us the Yard, and then tell us Henry Street. Tell us about the Yard, the quote unquote Yard per se.
The Yard, which is a
That was huge.
short derivative of the Ape Yard.
Right.
That was the original name that it was given. You know, so when you speak of the ape, black people, all right. So we like so many other things, we took ownership of it and we turned it into the Yard. But it was a cluster right next door where we are right now of thriving businesses, eateries, social clubs. There were some people, you know, back then, Shoe Shine was a pretty big business.
It definitely was.
Yeah, so that's how we made a lot of our money. So
and they kept Shoe Shining going for forever.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you had a trade, which was great, then you could eat. You could feed your family. You know, we a lot of us look at some jobs as menial or beneath us or whatever. But our elders, they had to get out here and be porters on trains and do day work. You know, the movie, what's it called, The Help.
The Help.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Help, I think it was a great movie. I never really watched it.
You know, I didn't watch the whole thing either, so I can't really say.
I didn't watch it because my grandmother was a day worker. So she would have been considered the help. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't want to celebrate it.
No.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't glamorous. It wasn't nothing glorious about it. But it was a respectful situation because...
Exactly. And that's what you celebrate, the fact that it was respectful.
Yeah. I hate, you know, just...
Try to look at the positive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's so many things that white America has tried to make cliche and novel. You see what I'm saying? They try to turn everything into a novelty. You see what I'm saying? You know, like at one point, only black people called McDonald's Mickey D's. You know, 10 years later, you see commercials with black people dancing in commercials, talking about Mickey D's. You see, but guess who's behind that? Somebody white. You know, but they take everything that we do culturally and they
make
exploit
it their own.
Yeah, you know. So, and I ain't mad at it because it's more proof of how effective we are as a people.
The thing is, Scott, they have the money to do that.
Absolutely.
They build each other up. They have the money to do that. If we were doing the same thing, we could be right there.
Their wealth, for the most part, it comes from the land. It comes off of the evolution of this country that was built on the backs of slaves. All right? They just knew how to control us and how to take that wealth and tuck it away and keep it for 10 generations down and all these different things. We were never taught these things.
Right.
You see? And unfortunately for us, if we do get an opportunity, we don't necessarily want you to come with me because then I might lose what I got.
Right.
And that's what they told us.
That's what they told us.
Don't let them see what you got.
But see, the thing is, we are what, 2000, almost 20? We got 1 year to 2020. We got to take back our own power. Because if we don't, nobody else is going to do that for us.
We fighting a disease, though. People start talking about mental health and all these different things.
Well, we do have mental health issues.
Well, no, but it's part of mental health in that we, as black folks, have been. We have evolutioned into being sole existence. You see what I'm saying? We don't look at we cool on social media and we cool at the party, but once we get home, we thinking of plans for ourselves individually.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I start thinking about partnerships and doing different things, and people, some might disagree. Some may not ever say this. I'll say it because it is what it is. But in the back of my mind, in the recesses of my mind, if I got $1 million and you only got $50,000, then what do I need you for? All right. More importantly, somewhere in the recesses of my mind, you want my $1 million.
But see, if we could change our thinking to not think like that.
But that's the fight. That's the battle that we fighting to reverse that.
Right.
But that's what we were taught.
Right.
You see?
Right.
The house thing and the field thing, it's all real.
Scott, we got to go on break.
No.
We're almost.
They said no.
Oh, we got to go? See, you got to come back next week.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
We put these topics out there. We get into all this other conversation we don't get right there.
You stay on course.
So, hey, but.
I'm sorry.
Can we give a shout out to the people in the room real quick? All right, let's do that.
Hey, before you do that, can I remind everybody, the William Fleming, second annual William Fleming reunion is happening this August, weekend of August 23rd, 24th. Connie Mills, I think she has tickets for the all-white.
Okay.
If you want to register, we're having a golf outing on that Friday starting at 7:30 in the morning. So if you're interested, get in touch with Erica and you know, we'll get you registered.
And also, we're taking back our yard. So we definitely want to tell the people to come out to T-Boy, which is June 1st, July 6th, and August 3rd, the first Saturday of each summer month. So definitely support. We are going to make some changes.
T-Boy.
Absolutely. All right, and here's the people in the room today. So, you got Sherman Lee Jr. Good morning.
The young mayor.
Good morning, Michael McGeorge. Good morning, Willard Terry. And a lot of responses from Sherman Lee. Good morning, Lynn Craigett. Good morning, Buffy Grabley. And good morning to everybody else who's in the room. We just wanted to make sure we said our good mornings. And hopefully next week we'll be back with Scott again to talk about it.
It's a docuseries.
Until tomorrow, everybody. God bless.
Good show.